Hi, everyone. This week we move into Module 11, Employee Termination. However, before we talk about employee termination, I want to go ahead and just kind of recap where we've been. Now, we've gone over a lot of information so far. We've had 10 different modules. I will say this class is set up a little bit differently than what I prefer. So let me go ahead and talk about why, why that is. So every other class that I've taught, the HR 153, Human Resource Management. Now I've taught it not only at this college, but several other colleges. I've used different textbooks. Every other course I've taught typically starts off with chapter 1, discussing what human resources is. You have an idea of what it is and gives you kind of an overview of all the different functions, right? So you have that introduction chapter, chapter 1. And then every other textbook I've used for the last, I don't know, umpteen years, always talks about employment laws in chapter 2 or module 2. And it discusses all the different laws. That way it gives you a foundation for when you learn about the different functions, such as training or recruitment, compensation, that you've already had a basis for the law in chapter 2, you can apply those in the different chapters going forward. This book doesn't do that, or this source, I should say. It's not really, it's an ebook, but they don't do that. And I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about why that would make it easier for learning if it was set up like this. So you would typically learn about all the different laws. Not only would you learn about EEO laws, but you would also learn about OSHA and then the Department of Labor laws, minimum wage, all the different things that affect the workplace. There are over 300 different laws that affect employment. Now, obviously, you wouldn't learn about all of those laws in chapter 2, but it would give you an introduction to the different laws. And so that way, when you move into the different areas, such as training and development, or compensation and benefits, or recruitment and selection, termination, for instance, you would already be familiar with those laws. And then when you learn about those different things, you can go back and search your mental Rolodex and say, oh, yes, you're right. When it comes to terminating employees, it's illegal to terminate someone based on protected class, right? So I just kind of want to give you that heads up where we didn't exactly have a module set up specifically for you to understand those different laws. And that's something I'm going to look at going forward. I think I'm going to go ahead and put in a module somewhere after here, maybe before module 4, kind of throw in a supplement module in there and talk a little bit about the laws and introduce those laws before we learn about the different functions. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. I guess what I'm saying is when we take a look at employee termination, you're going to be learning about hopefully different laws that apply to termination, but keeping in mind all of the different things that you should have already covered, specifically when it comes to the EEO laws. This week, we will cover, or your to-do list is to do the study plan and then the module assessment. So you're going to go ahead and, just like every other week, hopefully by now this is not news. You do that study plan, you do that assessment, and those are the only 2 assignments for this week, just those 2. And you'll learn about different types of termination, specifically the importance of documenting. It's always important to document when you terminate an employee, why you're terminating them. And so that way that can help you, should an employee think that they're being terminated for discrimination or other, something, discriminatory practices or something along those lines. If you document and you have performance tracking, if you will, you have a better case should a lawsuit come your way. Document, document, document. That's why HR is good at what they do. They document everything. All right. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll be here answering your emails if you have any questions. But again, this week, we're just going to look at the study plan and the assessment. Now, going forward, let's go ahead and take a brief look at what's coming up. So next week, we have module 12. Let me go ahead over to the lesson plan to do that then. Next week, we have employee rights and responsibilities. And then we do have a break. There's a break in there. And then we pick it up with OSHA, which is safety, health, and risk management, and then small and entrepreneurial business module 17, and then your final exam. And that's about it. This semester is rapidly coming to an end. I can't believe it's already April 1st on Friday, starting this Friday, depending on when you're watching this video. All right, everyone, have a great week and reach out if you have any questions. Thanks so much.